15th of April, Baker Street. Oh, shoot. See, that's why I hate grown-ups. All they do is feed you a pack of lies and take away stuff from you.
Oh, really, Mr. Stride? Tell me, is that overcoat keeping you warm?
What? Oh my, surely you were given that.
Yeah, the day you let me keep it. After look daggers at him long enough. He went through the pockets and then said, go on then, have it, before telling me to Scarpa. Always pays off giving people a look like you ate them.
I can't help feeling that it's going to get you into serious trouble one day.
What I really wanted was that nice shiny disc, mind.
The music box disc? But Mr. Windybank said it was practically worthless.
I think I'm gonna go have another bash. Give him a long-odd stare.
I think not, Miss Lestrade. We shan't enter Windybanks again today.
Oh, why not? That's not fair.
It can't be helped, I'm afraid. The police are investigating the scene.
The police are investigating the scene now and taking a statement from Mr. Windybank.
But that disc's mine. I ate the ticket for this coat and it was in this coat's pocket. And there should be something else and all. That's what that rotten cow said, ain't it?
Yes, he did mention something about another article, didn't he?
Well, then that's mine too. Whatever it is.
Now she's really pushing her luck.
Miss Lestrade, I think it's time to admit defeat. You've had your haul for the day.
Yeah, and it's all your fault, Sholmes.
So, what are your plans now? Will you dine with us this evening? Iris would be delighted to cook, I'm sure, and I might entertain you with a modest violin recital.
Come on. You look hungry. No, ta. Oh.
Why would I come round your place, eh?
Have you lost your head or something?
Oh dear, she's gone.
Haven't reviled on me quite unnecessarily, I might add.
I can't help wondering if perhaps she might turn up anyway.
Interesting.
Once she's had a chance to calm down, I think there's a good chance she'll decide to come.
Very well, then. I'll inform Iris to set a place for our potential guest at the dinner table this evening. And one more thing. I should be glad of your company later, too.
Sorry?
I believe I will have a rather splendid surprise to show you.
Oh, how exciting! What is it?
You shall have to wait and see, Miss Zato. Until later, then.
Last night I was, in bed, up all night, watching a late-night stream of someone playing Trials and Tribulations. And I wanted to stay awake to see their reaction to Phoenix Wright eating glass, but alas. The pawnbrokers. Nothing here. I'll just... Let's see here. Unless... Hold on. Was there something I missed? It's just the pawnbrokers. Oh, look at that. Another coat. Let's just go somewhere up. Legal consultancy. Can't go there. Can it really be that we've been in Great Britain for 2 months already? Yes, it's gone by in a flash, hasn't it? And what an English gentleman you trailed off there, Susato-san. See there, that signifies that they're talking in Japanese. I'm so sorry. When I thought it through, I realized it's not at all true, actually. I simply don't feel that any Britishness is really rubbed off on you. Well, he's starting to sound British if you've heard the... Yes. And I briefly consider changing the voice option right there. Changing the voice... wait. PC config, voices. Well, okay, I guess the option isn't there. It's like on the menu. I consider changing the voices to Japanese, But that also changed the cutscenes to Japanese. I didn't want that. I wanted to hear them. I just wanted to hear the objections in Japanese. But I'll do that for the next game. Nor you, to be honest. Well, that's obviously because... Yes, I know. Without a doubt, it's your kimono. It most certainly stands out. I do adore the attire of English ladies. It's quite delightful. But somehow, I just don't feel ready to abandon my Japanese dress just yet. Wonder how Suzato-san would look in Western clothes. That'll be interesting to see. Ha 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 ha! Stay tuned for the next game, if I ever get through this. Something... Oh! Okay. Here we go. Advance the plot.
Ah, Susie and Bruno! Come in, come in!
Good afternoon, Iris. Thank you so much for breakfast this morning.
Oh, don't mention it. Goodness, look at the time already.
Busy as always?
I am. I'm preparing everything for dinner this evening.
Already? You're obviously cooking something special, are you? What is she cooking?
Oh yes, after all, we have a special guest joining us. Guess who it is? Go on, you'll never guess.
Look at those little eyes of her shining. Oh dear. It is awkward when you already know the answer, isn't it?
It's Ginny! Isn't that exciting?
Ginny. So it is pronounced Gina. Oh, what a surprise. Yes, that's wonderful news. Wow, Iris seems overjoyed at the idea.
I can't wait to learn some pickpocketing tips from a real professional.
Oh, yes, that does sound like fun. I'm not sure that's entirely appropriate. Are you Mr. Naruhodo? By the way, Iris, what's Mr. Sholmes up to?
Harley? Oh, he's been like that ever since he got back.
Still doesn't have his machine. Hello, Mr. Sholmes?
I beg that you won't speak to me.
Sorry?
I don't know who you are, but kindly take your leave. As you can see, I'm not here.
I don't know how to respond to that.
I do apologize. When he gets like this, he's completely oblivious to everything.
Yes, I see.
Really, he behaves just like a child sometimes, Hurley does.
Mr. Sholmes and Iris have something of a parent and child relationship, don't they? Yeah, more like really weird roommates, sir. Yes, except Iris is clearly the parent here. Yeah, it's more like... Come to think of it. Wonder where her real parents are.
What's the matter, Runo? You have ever such a funny look on your face.
Oh, no, it's nothing.
I know what it is. Why does this girl live here with Mr. Sholmes? You're wondering. Am I right?
How? How did you... She's a detective, just like Sholmes.
Oh, Bruno, I can read you like a book.
Ugh, this girl is dangerous.
Don't worry, you can ask me anything. I won't mind.
Okay, where are your parents?
I'm sure you've been wondering, why is it that I live here with Hurley, haven't you?
Well, it has crossed my mind. That and... Where are your parents? Oh! My mommy and daddy aren't with me anymore. Oh. Mommy passed away when I was born.
At around the same time, my father... Well... He had to go to a faraway land because of one of the cases he and Hurley were working on.
Oh, I knew it! Her father is John Watson. Sorry, John Wilson. Oh.
Wait a minute.
Did you say he and Hurley?
Yes. Daddy and Hurley were always solving mysterious cases together.
That also means that she is a distant relative of Amelia Watson. She didn't mention that before.
He wrote them all up in his diaries. That's what the metal chest... in the metal chest over there.
Really? He recorded them all? So, you mean it's true Mr. Sholmes really did have a partner with whom he tackled some of his most taxing cases.
Oh yes, I mean, it's always nice to have one, isn't it?
So Mr. Sholmes' partner was your father? I know who it is.
Exactly. Hurley told me I wasn't allowed to look in the chest, but that only made me want to look even more. So I opened it up
And found your father's memoirs.
Yes, so I asked Hurley, who wrote these? He nearly fell off his chair. But then he told me, that's when I found out that the author of all those accounts was my father.
So Iris's father was Mr. Sholmes' partner, John Watson.
I've practically lived with Hurley all my life. I was tiny when he took me in. So, it came as quite a shock. When Hurley told me he wasn't really my daddy, I mean... you thought he was your dad? Daddy?
Do I look like your dad? Yeah, must have done. Wonder why Mr. Sholmes chose to tell you at such a young age. I am not your dad.
Hurley says it's because he wouldn't have been able to hide it from me.
Oh?
Well, having lived with Hurley all these years, you might say that his ways have rubbed off on me. There are some things I can just see. Especially lies. I almost know when people are lying before they open their mouths sometimes.
No, you can't. No, that's impossible. You can never tell when someone's truly... There's no universal lie detection technique. If there was, the fucking conviction rate wouldn't be so high in Japan.
Anyway, I was so fascinated when I read Daddy's diaries. That's what inspired me to write The Adventures of Sherlock Sholmes, actually.
So you're Sir Arthur Conan Doyle? I always assumed Mr. Sholmes simply told you all those stories.
Oh no, Hurley's hopeless like that. He forgets everything. As soon as he's solved a case, it all but vanishes from his mind.
Ugh. He runs into his fucking nemesis, Mycroft. You took everything from me. I don't even know who you are.
The other day, it was so embarrassing. As usual, he totally forgot about the case he just solved. So the very next day, he gathered together all the people involved and proceeded to solve the case again. It was quite a shock for everyone.
You can say that again. You share your father's surname, don't you, Iris?
That's right, Wilson. Daddy is Dr. John H. Wilson.
Oh! Called it!
I learned from his diaries that he's a doctor of medicine, you see.
So you also began...
That's what prompted me to study and study, so that I could earn a doctorate as well.
Iris's father, who went to some distant land, and is a doctor by the name of John H. Wilson. Yep, that was the guy who...
The court will now hear the trial of Inosuke Naruhodo. Kindly state before the court the name of the victim in this case.
The victim's name was Dr. John H. Wilson. Ah, look at ya. You were so young. Where did the years go by? That's right, visiting professor of medicine at Imperial Yume University. And the man who, in the most bizarre of circumstances, lost his life just before we left Japan. Miss Suzato. Yes? Perhaps we shouldn't pursue this conversation any further at this time. I think that would be for the best.
Iris, listen to me. I know who your real mother is.
Don't you fucking lie to me!
So by Ginny, you mean Melissa Strayed, the young woman from the McGilded case 2 months ago, right?
Yes, who also stole my experimental smoke grenade launcher. Although, after that trial, I invited her back here and we had dinner together. And now we're the best of friends.
No, we are not!
Oh, hee, what a lovely tale. Yes, now if I bump into her on the street, she runs away as fast as she can.
Oh.
And I chase after her down the back alleys.
Interesting idea of friendship.
And then I let her have the latest color of smoke grenade I've developed.
Oh.
There are so many beautiful colors in the world, Ginny wants me to make a whole rainbow.
I suppose this means you've let Miss Lestrade keep the smoke grenade launcher, have you? Yes.
That's right. I got bored of it anyway. Hurley always reacts the same way when I shoot him with it now.
Poor Hurley.
Oh, I can't wait for Ginny to arrive. It's been too long since she last came over. I'm so excited.
I just hope she does actually come.
Ah, my dear fellows, how good to see you.
Hey, Mr. Sholmes.
Why ever did you not make your presence known to me before?
Ah,
Well, no matter now. So, how the devil are you?
We've been with you for most of the day.
Goodness, really?
Do tell me, Mr. Sholmes, is your violin unscathed?
My violin? What are you talking about, madame?
Oh,
Never mind that now. I have something far more interesting to show you. Behold, my dear fellows.
he's been mulling over that thing. Oh, another music box disc.
No, not another disc, Mr. Zato. This is the one Gregson demanded we hand over as evidence. Mr. McGilden's disc.
oh my.
Then, what's it doing here?
You know, at times, Mr. Naruhodo, I think that though I have an undeniable turn for detection, I may well be even more adept at larceny.
Ooh, that would be wonderfully exciting. I'd be your pickpocketing assistant. And Runo could be our go-to lawyer if he ever got caught.
Right.
Plus, Susie has such beautiful handwriting, she could write all our menacing crime notifications.
And that was the origin of the Phantom Thieves.
Yes, I'd be delighted.
I'm just gonna pretend this conversation never happened, I think. So, why do you have the fucking dick? I don't understand. How did that disc come to be in your possession? I thought Inspector Gregson took it back to Scotland Yard.
Quite correct. And that sort of uncompromising attitude is precisely why I always carry some of this.
That's a bar of caramel, Mr. Sholmes. Oh man, eating a bar of just caramel? Your one and only friend in times of loneliness, if I'm not mistaken.
If you will humor me, my dear fellows, cast your minds back to when the good detective confiscated the disc.
You bribed him with caramel?
I'll be taking that, whatever it is, of Mr. McGilden's down to the yacht, thank you very much. So hand it over.
Oh, yes, of course.
If the police demand something as evidence, my dear fellow, we have no choice but to capitulate. It's all yours, Inspector. For the briefest of moments, I had the disc in my hand, did I not?
Yes, you did, but I still don't understand.
It was at precisely that moment that I summoned my one and only friend into action. I pressed the disc into a pair of bars like this.
That's amazing! The disc and all the minuscule protrusions have made an image in the caramel.
Indeed, this caramel is quite exceptional. I developed it myself, you know. Suitably soft for making impressions, but resistant to melting. The result of a precisely controlled solution.
Man, I could go for some caramel just now. I just ate a whole box of chocolates, and only like 2 of them were caramel chocolates. It was a tiny box, actually. And I already ate half of it the other day. How extraordinary!
Carrying a pair of these on one's person frequently proves very useful indeed. Take a house key, for example. A simple press, and its unique form is duplicated. I can enter anyone's property at will, and never without high sucrose nourishment.
Ah. Yes, it sounds illegal.
From the image, I was able to create this.
You illegally downloaded music! He illegally downloaded music with caramel.
So I confess I was most curious to know what manner of music would issue from the disc when played.
But we don't even know what music box it belongs to. Do tell us then, Mr. Sholmes. What music does the disc play?
Well, unfortunately, I have no idea.
No idea.
None whatsoever. Are you familiar with the workings of a music box, my dear fellows?
No, I'm afraid not.
Goodness, you don't know, Runo.
She's flabbergasted. Oh. Inside a music box, there's a special metal piece called a comb. That's what produces the sound. Small protuberances pluck the different teeth of the comb as they rotate past it, making the different notes. The first music boxes to be invented used a rotating cylinder with protuberances on it.
But over time, a new type of player was produced, which uses discs such as these. With that development, the popularity of music boxes spread far and wide, all around the globe.
Why exactly?
Because the discs are easy to produce and can be interchanged to facilitate the playing of different tunes. There are a great many firms in Europe now manufacturing music boxes as a result.
Ah, it is wonderful to be able to enjoy music, even when no performer is present.
But it is the very success of the invention that means we are now presented with an insurmountable problem.
What do you mean? God, why are you? Well, you're denser than that caramel, Ryunosuke.
As you may imagine, the construction of one firm's music box does not match that of another, and we have no way of knowing in which music box this particular disc was designed to be played. There is no resolution to this problem, I'm afraid. It's quite intractable.
Ah, I see. So that's why.
Well, you could give it to Gina. Naturally, I tested a disc in those few music boxes I have in my disposal. But as you can hear, to no avail. The results were equally unsatisfactory in this one. So, I am presently engaged in learning an example of all the music boxes ever made in Europe.
Every single one? That's Hallie for you, always taking things too far.
But, my dear girl, an unsolved riddle is quite repugnant to my constitution.
But surely all the different types in Europe will amount to a huge volume of music boxes, won't it?
Yes, that is certainly true. In the worst case, I shall just have to ask you to vacate the attic room.
What?
Magnus McGilded. Not a name I expected to hear again so soon.
Yes, it's only been 2 months since that grisly case. Another flashback! Mr. McGilded perished within hours of the trial's conclusion. Oh my god. Was it the curse of the Reaper? No one knows, still now. The omnibus was reduced to a pile of ash. Not a shred of evidence remained. And with the man's death, the truth about the murder in which he was so intimately involved was buried. Even though we successfully established Mr. McGilded's innocence in the trial, the newspapers are still claiming that it remains an unsolved case. Dead men tell no tales. The murder of the brickmaker, Mr. Thrice-Fired Mason. In the end, the truth of the matter remains a mystery. We still have no idea what really happened that night. And although Mr. McGilded was found not guilty through my defense, I still don't know if that was the right judgment or not. Rich people.
It would appear the case is not yet closed.
Oh?
Well, it's time I started getting things ready for dinner, I think. Ginny will be here before long.
Will she?
Thank you, Iris.
Oh, well, you must let me help you then. Of course, Susie. There's plenty to do.
I think I shall investigate the condition of my faithful performance partner. Now then, where did I leave it?
Let this be a lesson to you, Mr. Sholmes. Never leave anything too precious with a pawnbroker.
Yes. You may be right.
Oh, that reminds me. Do something Mr. Windybank said before.
He said they had a manuscript of Iris's in pawn, didn't he?
Did he now?
Yes, he definitely mentioned it. Mr. Sholmes' latest tale of otherworldly mystery lies dormant in my storeroom, were his words, I believe.
So you heard about that, did you? I expect you were there, and I expect you were incensed as I was.
Oh yes, the idea of such a wonderful story languishing in Mr. Windybank's storeroom, gathering dust.
My dear madam, I'm quite sure I told you already. The pawnbroker's storeroom is the safest place for it. More secure than a bank's vault.
Yeah, as long as you pay money.
And what about your Stradivarius, Harley? Was that safe and secure?
Well, there may be the occasional mix-up.
Caused by a certain impetuous someone not too far from me now.
Do you have any idea how long it took me to write that Baskerville story, Harley? Oh, it sounds so exciting. The Hound of the Baskervilles. I should love to read it. What's going on here? Why does it feel like an icy chill just swept through the room?
Awkward.
Susie, what did you just say? You said the Hound of the Baskervilles. But how could you know the full title? Well, that's
because Mrs. Otto was such a great fan of all the stories about Mr. Sholmes, of course.
But Runo, the Hound of the Baskervilles, has never been published.
What? Ryunosuke, you idiot!
When I showed Hurley the manuscript, he told me that I wasn't allowed to publish it yet.
I don't understand.
That's why he said that he'd keep it safe. It was until the right time. Until it was the right time for the story to be made public, you see.
So that's why the manuscript is at Windybanks.
And yet, how could Susie know its title? Well, Hurley, what's going on?
Ah!
What is it, Mr. Sholmes?
It would appear our guest has arrived.
Oh, good. Cut the tension with a knife. Miss Lestrade!
This was a bad idea. Knew I weren't welcome.
I'm going. No, Gina, no! No way, Miss Lestrade! We've all been eagerly awaiting your arrival.
Haven't we, Iris?
Oh, yes. Just wait here, Jenny. I'll have everything ready in a jiffy. Come along, Susie.
Right, of course. It's a pleasure to see you here, Miss Lestrade. Please, make yourself at home. She's got her held at gunpoint.
Don't stand in the doorway, my dear girl. Come along in. What say you to some Mendelssohn? I won't take no for an answer.
Meddlesome as it is, then.
Kitty!
That evening, Iris prepared us all a meal that was even more delicious than usual. Mr. Sholmes' violin performance was in no way meddlesome, and Gina, as we came to call her, taught us all how to steal things from one another without being noticed. I wonder if that'll, be important in the next game. Everyone thoroughly enjoyed themselves, well into the night. April 15th, 1935. 1935. 9:34. That was a very enjoyable evening, wasn't it?
Oh, yes.
Iris's cooking was truly divine. And I feel as though I can still hear the enchanted strains of Mr. Sholmes' violin even now. Best of all, I bet I could see all the glasses from his lordship's face next time we're in court. Don't do that. Don't. Naruhodo-san,
Could I consult with you about something, I wonder?
What's the matter, Suzaru-san?
It's about the telegram I received.
Ah, the one that arrived first thing this morning, I suppose. I've been summoned.
What?
Summoned?
What do you mean?
The telegram was from the Lord Chief Justice's office. Lord Starnard has asked to see me. The Lord Chief Justice? When? Tomorrow morning.
What?
Then we have to start preparing at once. Oh, no, that won't be necessary, Naruhodo-san. I've been summoned alone. Alone? What on earth for? I have no idea. I suppose I shall find out tomorrow. What's all this about? Whatever it is, it's making me feel very uneasy. Oh, who could that be, I wonder?
Good evening, friends.
Ah, Iris. Hello again. And Gina, too.
Yes, Ginny's going to be staying with us tonight. She's going to sleep in with me.
Isn't that right, Ginny?
Well, yeah.
How lovely. Let me make a pot of tea. You know, I've learned so much today.
Oh, what in particular?
All those things Ginny showed us. Wasn't it wonderful?
Ah, you mean all those pickpocketing techniques? We had fun trying them out on each other, didn't we?
I think I've awakened a natural talent. I could earn a living from it.
You might be getting ahead of yourself a little there. So, what brings you up to our humble quarters at this late hour?
Well, you see, I came to return this.
Wait, what? That's mine!
Oh my, however did you... I told you, didn't I? I have a natural talent for taking it.
Oh, yes, I'd forgotten. Iris literally is a child genius.
So anyway, here, you can have it back. Not that I really understand why you wear it, though.
I'm naked without it!
Ah, thank you.
All right then, good night.
Yes, good night.
So this is your office, is it? What do you think, Ginny?
I think I wouldn't fancy me chances with a lawyer what lives in a place like this.
Yes, me too.
It seems as though Iris here still has something she'd like to talk about. I suppose she probably wants to talk about the manuscript. Yes, I suppose she probably does. Oh, wait. Present. Oh, I can't present people. Bleventine. The manuscript. Iris, I suppose you're hoping to talk about the manuscript, aren't you?
Aren't you going to tell me?
I am so sorry. I need a little more time, please.
All right, I understand. I hope I haven't made you feel awkward.
Oh, no, not at all, Iris. Not at all.
I don't know what all this is about, really, but...
It's a story you made up, is it, Iris? This manuscript, or whatever you call it. It's not exactly a story that I made up. It's something I read in Daddy's diaries.
Diaries?
That's right. I don't suppose I've mentioned it to you before, Ginny, but... My daddy was Hurley's assistant once. His partner.
My daddy and my mommy and my daddy and my mommy, the daddy and my mommy.
They solved all sorts of strange and mysterious cases together.
Is that right, mister?
Apparently so. I was as surprised as you are, though.
And Daddy wrote all the details of every single case down, you see, in his diaries. So I study them and write my stories based on what actually happened.
So, where's the old man now, then?
He had to go away on urgent business to a faraway land, and he'll be gone a very long time.
Oh, she doesn't know. She doesn't know. She doesn't.
So I've never really met him.
She doesn't know. Ugh, right. Come to think of it. I don't know anything about Gina's parents either. Perhaps we should ask her. Well, obviously she's like an orphan. I think. The Hound of the Baskervilles. Iris, this Hound of the Baskervilles story, I take it that it's another tale inspired by your father's accounts.
That's right. I thought it was fascinating. But it's different somehow. From the other cases, I mean.
Oh? How?
I don't really know, but it must be special in some way. Because after I'd written it and I showed the manuscript to Hurley, he turned as white as a sheet. It was the first time I'd ever seen him like that.
I could really go for some sliced meat right now. Like beef or pork, served in that fancy style where you slice it.
It pains me to have to say this after you've toiled over it for so long, Iris. But this story must not be published at this time, under any circumstances.
But why not? It's one of my best works.
I'm not at liberty to say, not now, so please, do not ask me.
Alright, then I won't.
But I do solemnly swear that I will explain everything one day, Iris, when the time is right.
And that's how the manuscript came to be with Mr. Windybank, isn't it?
Yes. Hurley said that it had to be somewhere very safe.
That really gets my goat, that does.
He's treating you like a child. It's mean if that's what it is, keeping secrets like that.
I'm sure Mr. Sholmes isn't trying to be mean.
Eh?
If he said that he wasn't at liberty to talk about it, I'm sure there must have been a very good reason. I think so too.
You're a lot of too trusting for your own good. But he can't pull the wool over my eyes.
Sholmes is lying to Iris. I'll bet my life on it.
What? Hurley's lying to me.
What? Just fucking. No, wait, no, not that. Let's talk to you. What is, where I've realized that I don't know anything about your parents, Gina.
I ain't got any, have I? Never did have.
Oh.
Look, the East End's full of orphans like me.
No one wants nothing to do with us from the minute we are born. Not even our mums.
Well, we all stick together. The older ones look after the little ones and make sure they get by.
So that's why you're a pickpocket.
Nah, diving's my life. I love it. I get a kick out of it every time I lift some pompous idiot's purse. And that's how we all afford to eat. I'm like Robin Hood, ain't I? That's how I see it.
Oh, Gina.
I do think about it sometimes. What it'd be like to have parents, I mean. I always thought it'd make everything right. But I haven't listened to what Iris just said. Sounds like having parents ain't always easy either.
Oh.
I mean, if you know you never had them, you don't feel like you always wanted to meet them.
It's true. I do want to see Daddy so much. drop the accent. Oh, Iris. So anyway, Gina, what do you mean when you said that you know Mr. Sholmes is lying to Iris?
Well, he reckons he popped that mantle script or whatever, right? But come on, that's obviously a load of rubbish.
Oh my, why would you think that, Gina?
It's simple. If that store was really an old Windybank storeroom, there's no way someone from halfway around the world,
In other words, you could know about it.
ah,
Sorry, Iris, but if you ask me, he sold it. Fat down ya.
but Allie would never do something like that. I'm sure of it.
Ha! Grown-ups do a lot worse than that, believe me. Barefaced liars, the lot of them. You just ain't realized it yet. I'm telling ya, that manuscript ain't at Windybanks. You'd soon see it if you had a look. Even if you think you can trust him, I don't. That Holmes is a liar, like the rest of them.
If I'm honest, I have wondered if Hallie's telling me the truth sometimes.
Say,
Oh, but I don't mean that I think he sold it. I mean that I sometimes wonder if he might have hidden my manuscript somewhere I don't know. Even though it's wrong of me to doubt him.
don't be so hard on yourself, Iris.
Oh my goodness, look at the time. Come along, Ginny. We should go back downstairs.
Yeah, alright.
And please, don't mention any of this to Harry, will you?
No, of course not.
Good night then,
Good night then, Iris. Good night, Gina. You must let me make breakfast for you tomorrow morning. I insist.
Oh, yes, please. I can't wait, Susie. Good night then.
Iris. Sure is easy to forget, isn't it? Sometimes she speaks just like an adult, but deep down, she's still just a child. Well, I think it's time that I turned in for the night too, Naruhodo-san. Yeah. Dr. John H. Wilson, Iris's father, but also the name of the murdered visiting professor at Yume University. It can't be a mere coincidence. There's something deeper going on. Mr. Naruhodo. A voice. That's Mr. Sholmes! What's going on? It's the middle of the night.
It's Miss Lestrade. She's gone.
Gina?
She was supposed to be sleeping in Iris's room, but her bed is empty.
Well, she's an independent young woman. She probably decided to go home, no? She's 17. You know what I was doing when I was 17? I was, neglecting my future and, making up OCs. Yeah, okay, that tracks.
I think not. From speaking to her before she retired, I received the distinct impression that she was looking forward to breakfasting with Miss Susato. No, I don't believe the girl has gone home, but I've been waiting for over an hour now.
Over an hour? Oh.
If you'll indulge me, look out of the window, my dear fellow.
What's this about? Baker Street. Wait a minute. Why is there a light on at this time of night?
That's Mr. Windybank's pawnbrokery.
Mr. Windybanks. Oh no! It's simple. If that store was really an old Windybank storeroom, there's no way someone from halfway around the world, in other words, you, could know about it. So, Ravis, but if you ask me, he sold it. Without telling you. Could Gina have gone?
It seems you have some knowledge of the situation, Mr. Naruhodo.
Sorry? Oh, no. No, not really.
Well, anyway, we must investigate. At once!
Alright then, Mrs. Otto. The door to Windybanks. It's open. And the lamp is burning. It must be Gina, mustn't it?
Let us hope it's nothing more sinister. What? Come, there's not a moment to lose. Clearly, something is afoot inside.
Balls. There's no one here.
Oh yes, there is.
Ah! Ah! Mr. Sholmes! Mr. Sholmes! What the? Has Sholmes been shot?
Leave me, Mr. Naruhodo.
But after them. Go! Right. What just happened? Blast! I've lost them.
Hello, what have we here?
Oh, fuck. The pigs.
The alarm was just raised from this pawnbroker, sir. What do you know something about that?
Officer, come with me. It's my friend, Mr. Sholmes. He's been shot.
Shot?
With the policeman close behind me, I ran back to Windybanks. Who are those people? Oh, it's a... Oh, animation.
Mr. Sholmes!
Mr. Narado.
Narado?
How bad is it?
That's how you pronounce it?
Never mind me, but there's much at stake. Behind that door.
Full motion video.
In the storeroom. Hurry!
God, this really makes me wish that there was, like, another season. This really makes me wish there was a third season of that Ace Attorney anime. No!
It's Gina!
She did? To be continued. Oh, ominous. Well, this was shorter than the last part, but hey, what you gonna do?